Hi, I'm Catherine DeVries. I'm a surgeon in Salt Lake City, and I started an organization that teaches doctors and nurses to do surgery internationally. UvaMed is an organization that teaches doctors and nurses surgery in Africa, Asia, and parts of Latin America. A lot of people think when we go on surgical trips that we're just going to be going and doing the surgery. But what we actually do is empower people by helping them to do it themselves better. So we teach nurses and doctors, that includes the surgeons and the anesthesiologists, to work as a team to take care of their own patients better. It works by assembling teams of people from all over the world. So some of those people are in Salt Lake City. This is where we're based. But other people come from Kenya or Vietnam or Mongolia. And we assemble these teams to work in the countries where the teaching is needed, where we've been invited. Well, some places it's really been amazing. Every country has its own personality, and so you really can't generalize. Honduras, for example, is a hard place to work because politically it's difficult. There's a lot of drug trafficking that goes through Honduras, and it's very hard to build capacity there. It's a poor country, and it happens very slowly. Vietnam, on the other hand, is a lot easier. When I go back to Vietnam, every year they've progressed beyond where I left them. They continue to learn on their own, and they have better infrastructure, better support. One of the big goals is to teach the teachers. We think it's really important to have a place in each region, a core of teachers that can be the center of excellence where people can go to learn. In Vietnam, for example, they are now training their own doctors, and they're going and doing their own outreach, and we help them with that. That's really a beautiful thing when you see that happening. It's great. It's difficult to stay and live in these countries where a doctor might be the only doctor doing the surgery. Maybe he or she has 2 or 3 colleagues, but there may be 15 million people in those countries, and they get feeling isolated and lonely. The problem is that the temptation is to pick up and move. So one of the things we do is to provide an international network of colleagues, and this collaboration actually turns almost into a family, where people know that they have others they can call on. And these days, with the internet and with cell phones, we can actually do this in real time. We can talk to them in Skype. We can actually even look into their ORs and help them with surgery at the time they're actually doing the surgery. So there are a lot of things we can do now to support people in the countries where they live, so that the temptation to pick up and go to England or the States or some other place is not so great.
We hear time and time again from doctors that volunteering with us reminds them of why they went into medicine. I think they go into medicine wanting to help people, wanting to make a difference, and sometimes they can get distracted by the business part of the industry. And so volunteering abroad with UvaMed helps reignite that passion to help and to serve. And Catherine DeVries' example is so great because somebody who's looking to volunteer a week or 2 of their time on one of our workshops, they can feel more motivated because they see her volunteering her time throughout the year. She's basically worked a second full-time job on top of being a surgeon by getting this organization off the ground and volunteering so much of her time and efforts.
Well, I've been doing this for 21 years. And for most of my career, I've done it with my own money. And I think most surgeons do it with their own money too. It's something we feel we need to give, not something we need to get back. You know, nobody gets paid to do this kind of work. It's the kind of work you do because that's why you went to medicine. You know, I think everybody's got different motivations for why they do this kind of thing. Some people do it for religion, some people do it because their families are from another place. For me, it's a little bit like music. It's creating something of beauty with my friends and colleagues, the people who are taking care of their communities. So when we work together, it's a lot like creating any kind of art or music. We're creating a collaboration, we're creating a process for healing and healthcare, and there's a lot of joy in that. There's a tremendous amount of joy when people are able to do something they couldn't do before. And doctors and nurses, people in healthcare, they always want to do that and do it better. So when they're empowered, when they're enabled to do it, it's really a joyful thing. And that's where it touches my soul. That's where I do it.